That shit was banging. You gotta admit, I'm gonna wait one more minute for somebody to come in. That's that West Coast. Two fingers up, two twisted in the middle. Here I come. I'm coming with it. Yeah, that's that West Coast gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that corrupt instrumental called Sea Walk, right? I had to put the instrumental on so I won't take no copyright violation. So I hope everyone can hear me. On my other device, I can hear pretty good. Okay, so you see the title. It says Asar Imhotep, aka Harold Johnson, exposed. Um, is Harold Johnson deceiving the community, teaching pseudo linguistics to a group of people who were previously not learned in linguistics? Okay, so the claim Asar makes is that Afro-Asiatic language is really Negro Egyptian language. He comes with a new phrase, calls it Shinye. Okay? But we're going to stick with what we've previously been hearing, the Negro Egyptian. Now, let me state this. I do not know nothing much about linguistics. It's not my lane. What's up, Corey Shorts? It's not my lane and it's not my topic. I'm not learned in it. But some things sparked my curiosity. And I bought a book from the man. And I was just skeptical. So I said, let me do a little research before I read this huge book by a guy who possibly may be teaching pseudo-linguistics. And I read this whole book and get miseducated. So I'm just wondering why his claims, his linguistic claims, have not been peer-reviewed by people outside of the so-called conscious community, in a few Afrocentrics. Okay? I was wondering why. So I wanted to ask a question and got my head bit off by the author, Harold Johnson, aka Asar Imhotep. And I was wondering why he was so rude and mean and cut me off, and so it just raised a red flag to me, right? So someone who goes by the name of Daniel, Power of God, tried to upload an article for Wikipedia called Negro Egyptian Languages. I don't believe there's such a thing because it was already settled and called Afro-Asiatic languages. But Harold Johnson, aka Asar Imhotep, seems to think that the Egyptian language, the Afro-Asiatic language is really Negro Egyptian language. And he makes a claim that Proto-Bantu language is related to Negro Egyptian or Afro-Asiatic. Okay, so I was wondering why Wikipedia deleted his submission, and I was going through why. And the scholars and editor of Wikipedia seem to think that it's total pseudoscience and hogwash and bullshit, right? Now, these are the editors. If you can't get something uploaded on Wikipedia and show your sources and prove it, then something's really wrong, okay? So, as we see here, let me just, I got it at 200%. Let me just expand it a little more so people can see. As we see here, Wikipedia says, articles for deletion, and that article is in Negro Egyptian languages, uploaded by a guy who calls himself Daniel, Power of God. Now, I believe Harold Johnson, aka Asar Imhotep, is Daniel, Power of God. I believe that. And he's uploading his own information in a third party, which is kind of cowardice to me. Okay? So, no one else who knows about this subject, who's been discussing about this subject, would upload this to Wikipedia, except Harold Johnson, aka Asar Imhotep. Okay? So, let's hear what Wikipedia and their editors and their scholarly editors have to say about it. Wikipedia is put up for articles for deletion. Okay, Negro Egyptian languages. Okay, the following discussion is an archive debate of the proposed deletion of the article below, which they're talking about the Negro Egyptian languages. Okay, the result was redirect to Theophilo Banga, because he has they have an article on Theophilo Banga. Seems to be the most reasonable solution. So they redirected it. Okay, Negro Egyptian languages. Okay. This recently created, this is what Wikipedia says. This recently created article is non-notable pseudoscience at best and does not warrant an article per notability. Okay? Wikipedia and their editors are saying this is pseudoscience at best. Okay, but it is more likely to be non-notable racist conspiracy theory or a hoax. Now, scholarly men and professional men and editors of Wikipedia do not use those kinds of terminology, conspiracy theory and a hoax and pseudoscience at best, unless they've proven it to be so. Okay, they would use less harsh words, and they would work with you to make your article that you're uploading better. They don't just talk crazy like that. Okay. It says I redirected it for now to pseudoscientific language comparison. And let me just read what that is. Pseudoscientific language comparison is a form of pseudo-scholarship that has the objective of establishing historical associations between languages by naive postulations of similarities between them. Okay, it probably says more, but I'm not going to go there. But it isn't even notable enough for an RD. And it is mentioned at that article. There's also 2 RDs that should be deleted with this Negro-Egyptian language family and Negro-Egyptian. Another linguist editor's comments, okay? And the guy named Kwame, right here, which sounds like an African name, that's his short name, is one of the editors, okay? And let's go on. They had like a little vote. Delete, keep, or what have you. So let's see what they're saying. Stevie, right here, 788, he says delete. This is a complete joke. Not half a joke, but a complete joke, he says. A hoax, or just plain incompetency. Trust me when I tell you, people, Wikipedia editors and professional people do not talk like that unless it's just some absurd shit that someone tried to upload and pass as real shit. They don't do that. This is what Wikipedia staff is saying, their editors and scholars. Okay, this is a complete joke, hoax, or just plain incompetency. Anyone with a basic background in linguistics would be horrified or amused by the misclassifications, bizarre claims, and incoherence of the article. The hoax book, Black Civilizations of Southeast Asia, Austroasiatic, come to mind. So he's referencing some other bullshit somebody tried to upload called Black Civilizations of Southeast Asia. Because, you know, people always want to claim that the Chinese and Southeast Asians and these people were originally black people. So he's comparing it to that kind of bullshit talk, right? Because people will be thinking, oh, the Asians and Chinese, they're the way they are because of whitewashing and people coming to say, no, Chinese and Japanese do not have European DNA. You African Americans got European DNA. Chinese and Japanese don't have European DNA like you. Okay? So when people say Black Civilizations of Southeast Asia, right? You know what I mean? And the ancient Chinese was black is a bunch of dumb shit. So they're equating it with that. Just let me read again. They're talking about Asar's upload of the Negro-Egyptian language. This is a complete joke, hoax, or just plain incompetency. Anyone with a basic background in linguistics would be horrified or amused, meaning laughing their ass off, by the misclassifications, bizarre claims, and incoherence of the article. The hoax book, Black Civilizations of Southeast Asia, Austroasiatic, come to mind. Perhaps consider moving it to Uncyclopedia. This is what Stevie778 says. Okay? Comment. I must commend now one guy gives him a little props. I must commend the contributor for his creativity. Okay? So when someone says creativity, They're basically saying, oh, he's creative. He has a good imagination. You know what I mean? So one guy gives him props. I must commend the contributor for his creativity. The incredible detailed linguistic evolution narrative in there is a true marvel. There are striking similarities with the book of Revelation. Like Stevie said. Okay, let Stevie said that after he shot it down as a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Automated kata. This AFD was not correctly translated. Okay, let me skip that. Someone else said delete. Someone says right here, delete it. He's saying delete it because it's garbage to him also. This is another person. He says, even with my superficial knowledge of linguistics, I know that this is not how language evolves. Rather than produce new words with every new idea or phenomenal experience, which result in the need for an individual to exhaustively remember hundreds or even thousands of words through an agglutinative process, the vocabulary of Negro Egyptian was able to be expanded. New words were constructed and semantically extended from a core of set words. So he's saying he kind of exaggerated some shit, basically is what he's saying. From a core of set words. Remembering hundreds or thousands of words is not difficult for Homo sapiens. Most 4-year-olds do exactly that. But winnowing the root words of the purported proto-language down to just 10 consonant vowels, pairs, excuse me, let me just read that again. But winnowing the root words of the purported proto-language down to just 10 consonant vowel pairs, no doubt makes it much easier to find the kind of false cognates that pseudo-linguistics rely on. In other words, he is saying that Asar, Harold Johnson, has been using false cognates. What are false cognates? Are pairs of words that seem to be cognates because of similar sounds and meaning, but have different etymologies. They can be within the same language or from different languages, even within the same family, even within the same family. For example, the English word dog, you know what? Let me just click on that because this is very important. This is what they're saying Asar is doing. False cognate. A false cognate are pairs of words that seem to be cognates because of similar sounds. A trick in meaning, but have different etymologies. They can be within the same language or from different languages, even within the same family. For example, the English word dog and the Mabran word dog have exactly the same meaning and very similar pronunciations. But by complete coincidence, so Asar used false cognates by coincidence. They're there. Likewise, English much and Spanish mucho, which came by their similar meaning via completely different Proto-Indo-European roots. This is different from false friends, which are similar sounding words with different meanings, but which may be in fact etymologically related. Even though false cognates lack a common root, there still may be an indirect connection between them. For example, photosemantic matching or folk etymology. The term false cognate is sometimes misused to refer to false friends, but the two phenomena are the same. Okay, anyway. Let me go back. Okay. So he's saying that Asar has been using false cognates, and that's something pseudo-linguistics rely on. And there's some really twisted logic, he's saying, at work. Something about transposition of vowels and consonants at the end of words. When you put Middle Egyptian and its direct descendant, Coptic, on different branches of the linguistic tree. Moreover, this idea doesn't seem to be at all notable as a French theory. The article is kind enough to tell us exactly who is responsible for the concept, and they list Theophilo Banga, Jean-Claude Mboli, and Asar Imhotep. Huh? These are the three people out of the entire world who these teachings go back to. Obenga is a notable French theorist and seems to be the origin of the term Negro-Egyptian family language. But I see no reason that his linguistic claims merit a separate article. The details of the purported language family, as described in this article, seem to be the work of Mboli and Imhotep, which is Asar Imhotep. The first selection of the article body, which contains most of the linguistic substance of the article, cites nobody except the two of them. You see? The first selection of the article body, which contains most of the linguistic substance of the article, cites nobody except the two of them, Asar and Obenga. Googling shows that they have virtually no online presence except in their own self-published works and in the narrow community of Afrocentric French thinkers. Let me read that again, and I need you to listen and think. The details of the purported language family as described in this article seem to be the work of Mboli and Imhotep. The first section of the article body, which contains most of the linguistic substance of the article, cites nobody except the two of them. Googling shows that they have virtually no online presence except in their own self-published works in the narrow community of Afrocentric French thinkers. This is how that all jumped up. I asked a question on a live stream. Why has not this information been brought to people outside of you guys to be peer reviewed? And I got my head bit off. And now we're here. And they're saying the same thing I said. My question was fucking valid. Me as a student did not deserve all that rudeness. Okay? I didn't. I asked a simple question because they have the same idea. Why is just the narrow community of Afrocentric French thinkers talking about this? Because the book has not been brought, not the book, but these claims of Negro Egyptian languages have not been brought to qualified linguists outside of them too. It just hasn't. I'm sorry. Maybe they need to do it, but it just hasn't. So it drew my ire. I'm not wrong for questioning that. He goes on to say, what I find amusing is that they think Afrocentric pride is served by claiming that Africans don't have the mental capacity of a 4-year-old. This is Kwame saying it. He is a African language scholar. Okay? And we're going to get back to the talk. Well, let me just click on Kwame. Let me just show you some user talk. This is his username. Kwame Kagame. Now, you know ain't no white boy, ain't no Asian. He's an African. And, hold on. Wait a minute, where is that? I may have clicked on the wrong page. But I was just going to show you some of his content. Okay, let me just go on. Comment, somebody else commented. Comment. I didn't realize that Theophile Obenga mentions this. He's referring to them talking about the mental capacity of of Africans. He was confused. He didn't even know that something that Theo Obenga thought or mentioned. I don't have the exact quote. So I didn't realize that Theo Obenga mentions this. I'd be happy with a redirect here, though we need to be careful about making clear that it's pseudoscience if there's pushback per bio. Okay, you want to make clear that it's pseudoscience. However, as per comments on the talk page, I doubt the bio passes. Okay. Comment. Thank you to Doug Waller for bringing this to my attention. Because I think this is the guy who initially accepted the Negro Egyptian article on Wikipedia. He just kind of accepted it and didn't know. He said, thank you, user Doug Weiler. for bringing this to my attention. I accepted this at AFC because it appeared to meet AFC standards. Beyond that, I offer no opinion either way. So what happened was they referred to someone who is a specialist in historical comparative linguistics. And that guy is Kwame right here. Okay. Now, someone voted to keep it. Right? You see right here where it says keep? And that person who voted to keep it is none other than Daniel Power of God, a.k.a. Asar Imhotep, a.k.a. Harold Johnson, the former Hebrew. And when was this uploaded and spoke about? March 2009, mid last year, not long ago, right around the time when he's coming out with his book and selling his book. Now, I love the Amun-Ra Squad. This has nothing to do with any other member of the Amun-Ra Squad. I'm specifically not even really talking about the Amun-Ra Squad. I got love for them. I'm specifically talking to an individual, man to man. I'm talking about Asar Imhotep. Okay, so let's see what Asar Imhotep, aka Daniel Power of God, has to say. Because you know Daniel Power of God, Daniel is a Hebrew name, a biblical name. Asar is trying to say he's not a Daniel Power of God. But he didn't know Chief X is sharp. We're going to correlate and show you that that is him. We're going to keep going. Okay, keep. Let's see what Asar wrote. Or Daniel. Keep. And he's pleading to keep this article. Don't take it down. And he's talking to the other editors who's saying delete the bullshit because it's garbage. Keep. He said, I responded to the comments made by the editors. Okay. I am willing to work with other editors, especially those, because he's an editor. He's a Wikipedia editor. He don't tell you all that. But Asar is a Wikipedia editor. Okay. I responded to the comments made by the editors. I'm willing to work with other editors, especially those who would make prudent, critical assessments about the content of the article and who have specialized knowledge in African linguistics. What did Asar just say? He's willing to work with editors who have a specialized knowledge in African linguistics. Now, you know that's something Asar says all the time. You know what I mean? That's something, okay. He's willing to work with people who have a specialized knowledge in African linguistics to improve the overall quality of the article in the draft space. Because editors, before they delete something that's garbage, they will try to work with whoever uploaded it to improve the article. But if they can't do that, they just see it's total garbage, they just say, fuck that shit, delete it. It's garbage. Okay? But Asar here, he's acting as an editor, speaking in a third party because he's scared to represent his own name. Let's just read it again. I responded to the comments made by the editors. I'm willing to work with other editors, especially those who would make prudent, critical assessment about the content of the article and who have specialized knowledge in African linguistics to improve the overall quality of the article in the draft space. Obinga, Mboli, and Imhotep, and this is him talking, but he's pointing out Mboli, Obanga, and Imhotep and talking in the third party. Obanga, Mboli, and Imhotep are proponents of the Negro Egyptian, who are all of African descent, which makes the gross mixed characterization of the article as racist, possibly due to the inclination to make a hasty assessment. So what he said, for those with lack of reading comprehension and listening comprehension, he's basically shooting a shot at the editors and saying, hey, some of the editors may be racist and inclined to being hasty in assessing this incorrectly. You know that's Asar! Let me just read. Okay. Egyptians who are of African descent, which makes the gross. This is Asar talking as an editor to try to keep the article. See, they have discussions back and forth with each other when they're fact-checking things. So Asar's it's discussing back and forth with the other editors to keep this and fighting for it to stay on Wikipedia. Okay. Okay. Obenga and Mboli's work are in French. He always throws that out. This work is in French, so how would you understand, is what he's trying to say. Obenga and Mboli's work are in French, whereas Imhotep's work is in English. This makes it particularly reliant on Imhotep's work. Yeah, give yourself props. Yet, it should be noted that most of the article is arranged to reflect the revisions Mboli, 2010, made to Obenga, 1993. With that said, I did try to use sources from Mboli for the content in the article. Once again, I am willing to work with others to improve the overall quality of the article in the draft space and am open to friendly, constructive criticism, because they haven't been given friendly, constructive criticism because they think it's hogwash. But Asar is saying, hey, I'm open to friendly, constructive Daniel Power of God is saying, I'm open to friendly, constructive criticism that can improve the overall quality of my edits. Of his edits. Of who's him? Daniel Power of God. March 2019. Note, regarding consideration of nobility, Obenga and Mboli are both included in, he continued talking. He's trying to let the other editors know, but they already know this. He's trying to let the other editors know that Obenga and Mboli are like some world-class cats, and they're respected. So he uploads a lot of their information and stuff and what they did and their credentials and things like that. So it says, regarding consideration of nobility, Obenga, 1993, and Mboli, 2010, are both included in WorldCat and Stanford libraries. Both are also referenced in the article right here. He posts an article, Obenga, posts an article in Mboli. Obenga is known for his participation in UNESCO Symposium. And he posts the article and the links and everything. This is also referenced in the article. Imhotep has participated. So he's trying to give the guy, David is trying to give Imhotep credit. This is also referenced in the article. Imhotep has also participated. I read that all wrong. This is also referenced in the article. He's talking about the link. Okay. Imhotep has also participated in DISA, the Open Institute for Scholarly Advancements, Sheikh Anta Diop International Conference, and he puts the links. So he's fighting for this article to stay and trying to show some credibility of Mbenga, and Sheikh Anta Diop and people like that, and our brothers like that. I'm willing to work with other editors to improve the overall quality of the Theophilo Obenga article as well. So he's trying to tap into Theophilo Obenga's article well to help improve that one. Asar is an editor for Wikipedia, y'all. Okay, so here's the next person commenting. Delete. Per norm, AFC is not exact science, and sometimes even the worst of the worst fall through the cracks. Basically saying he don't know how this shit fell through the cracks to even get on Wikipedia before they had to delete it. Okay? He said it is not exact science, and sometimes even the worst of the worst fall through the cracks. Somebody put weak delete. It is clearly a thing. He said weak delete and merge it is what he said. So sometimes some of the stuff in the what a person uploads, they'll merge it to someone else's, like Theophilo Obenga's claim. Okay, merge. It's clearly a thing and seems to be highly notable, but it also seems as if this is really the work of one notable academic and polemicist. To be clear, both him and his theory are notable for being mainly a loony fringe. He's saying it's a loony fringe theory. He's calling it loony. Now, if it had some substance and good, they wouldn't be using these extreme words like loony. You know what I mean? Y'all know this. Come on. I don't even really have to go there. You guys can use your common sense. Let's make this clear, as there seems to be some confusion. The only notability this has is as a silly season story linked wholly to one controversial academic. It's a silly season story linked wholly to one controversial academic. As such, I vote merge with its creator, which is the only reason it's notable. It is not independently so. Okay, now that's the discussion that they had about the Negro Egyptian language article that was deleted for Wikipedia for being trash and pseudoscience and hogwash. Okay, so let's continue. People asking me, how do you know that's Harold, Chief X? How do you know that's Harold? Let's just go down some more. Okay, so when you click on Daniel Power of God, username Daniel Power of God. Now, yesterday, it was a user page. Today, it's saying Wikipedia does not have a user page with this exact name. Okay? So someone may have closed the page last night after a live stream. I don't know. Okay? They're saying sign in. Okay. So, oh, let me go to this. 1 second. This is where I'm at. Daniel Power God. Now, these are things that Daniel Power God have uploaded. They're saying, welcome, Daniel Power God. You're invited to the tea house. These are things that he has discussions on and or uploaded. DNA tribes is not reliable source by our criteria. And he always talks about the DNA of the West Africa and this and this and that. Because his whole game is to try to link West Africa and Egypt. Okay? So, hold on 1 second. Okay. AFC notification. So, he's uploaded a few things that got by. Okay? One is Abubakar Musa. Okay, so let's click on it. Your submission at article's creation of Abubakar has been accepted. So they accepted this article by who? Abubakar Musalam. Okay, and it just breaks it down. It's just normal Wikipedia information and information. You know what I mean? French stuff. It's all related to Afrocentricity, Sheikh Anta Diop. You know what I'm saying? Afrocentric. You know what I mean? This is what Harold's into. Ankh. It says look at right here. And he put his own he put his own name in here. Right here it says Imhotep Asar Imhotep. He put his own source in here. This is what Daniel Power of God did. Daniel Power of God used Asar Imhotep as a source. Asar used himself as a source. And it says Akan and Egyptian symbol comparisons. What have we been talking about for the last 3-4 months? The relationship between West Africa and Egypt. What does this say by Asar right here? Akan and Egyptian symbol comparisons. He's just done live streams on all that shit, y'all. And when we go further, you'll see Wikipedia has been scolding him for having edit wars. He's been trying to edit other Wikipedia articles by people on Central Africa and West Africa, and he's been trying to change shit to fit his narrative. We're going to see, I'm trying to tell you, there's some wicked shit been going on. Okay. So, who is this guy that Daniel, Power of God, is talking about? Let's just go over here real quick. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me, fam. Hold on. First of all, let me make sure people can hear me. Bear with me, fam. Okay, so let me find this. Okay, here we go. So I said, let me just put in Asar search bar and see. And this is what pops up. I don't know if you guys can see this clearly because I can't. This is something from my inbox. Harold Johnson, it says. This is something he uploaded. Right? And what did it upload about? Abu Bakr Musalam. This is a person that's in Harold's book. Okay? So let's just see what they're talking about. This. Okay, let me just do it right here. Here we go. Here we go. These are some of the comments. I forgot where I found these, but I had to screenshot them. Hello, I'm Diana, and I'm a Wikipedia administrator. I have removed several copyright violations from History of West Africa, because that's one thing. Harold went into a Wikipedia link, or excuse me, Daryl, Power of God, went into History of West Africa Wikipedia link and tried to edit something. She's saying, I have removed several copyright violations from History of West Africa material you added on June 10th and 11th. Prose you find online is almost always copyright and cannot be copied here. This is against the law to copyright, such as whatever. Okay. They're talking about his assist. Let me see. This is one comment. Deleted. Sorry, but besides being nonsense and probably a hoax, they see the experts are not saying that it's a good article and some corrections may need to be done. This is Kwame saying this African scholar in African languages. He said, deleted. Sorry, but besides being nonsense and probably a hoax, the idea that Africans are subhuman brutes does not deserve to be given exposure unless the topic is notable, which this is not. Okay? Okay, it goes on to say, this seems to be a gross mischaracterization due to an inclination to make a hasty assessment about the article. Okay, that's Asar responding to the editor. Okay, here we go. This lady said to Asar, because he's been accused by the Wikipedia administrators of disruptive editing. She said, please stop your disruptive editing. If you continue to violate Wikipedia's neutral point of view, because when you upload stuff, you're supposed to give a neutral point of view. You don't, when you upload articles on Wikipedia, they're supposed to be unbiased. But I guess he was adding commentary in his personal opinion. So she was telling him to stop it. She said, please stop your disrupting editing. If you continue to violate Wikipedia's neutral point of view policy by adding commentary and your personal analysis into articles, as you did at Ukwani people, I guess something else he was trying to fuck with and edit, you may be blocked from editing. Your text suggested that there is no debate over their origin, yet your source says that the dominant narrative is that they are of Benin origin. I'm not going to take all day and get to that, but I'm just showing you. This is something he also uploaded, Basil Eurasian. This is one of the sources in something from Black Panther, his homie, okay? So you know this is Asar. This is the conversation. This is where he uploaded. And you see at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see because I can't expand this. The same guy, Kwame. This is Asar. And I have right here, Illusia. It's nobody uploading Illusia book information recently to Wikipedia but Asar. His name right here, Asar Imhotep Online Institute. Okay? Name Illusia right here. This is shit he's uploading and going back and forth with editors about. You know that's Asar. It's not Obenga doing it. It's not Mboli doing it. Who else would be doing it? Stop playing dumb. Negro-Egyptian languages, difference between revisions. This is shit he's uploading. Negro-Egyptian, proposed language, Negro-Egyptian. You know what I mean? This is the stuff he's uploading. Negro-Egyptian languages, difference between revisions. And you see here it says Sinyaintu, Bantu family. Okay? Same arguments. He's trying to equate Bantu language with Egyptian language. We had that discussion last night. Uploaded inclusion, illusion of inclusion, a popular phrase in the conscious community. That's his article on Wikipedia. That's Daniel Power Guy's article, aka Asar Imhotep. The illusion of inclusion. And in the article, guess who he puts? All these names, all of his homie. Senegalese historian Boubacar Lam, who he wrote about on his page. Same people. A disciple of who? Sheikh Anta Diop. Also encountered and complied the collected works of it. So I'm just showing you that this is all related to Asar. Asar's name is all over this. His book name is all over this. When he initially got the article approved before it got deleted, someone said the article has been assessed as C class, which is recorded on the article's talk page. And in some of the article he has uploaded and got approved, Intellectual Maroons, Carter G. Woodson, Marcus Garvey, Sheikh Anta Diop, Joseph Ben Jokanan, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, John Henry Clark, Molefe Asante, Malanga Karenga, Amos Wilson. He names all these people. This is the conscious community crowd, okay? Marimba Annie, Asa Hilliard, Naeem Akbar, Chancellor Williams, Francis Cress Wells, and he even got back Phil Valentine and Layla Africa down here. Whose African-centered media often draws from African cultural heritage, as well as fellowship. Okay. Okay, so to let you know, Abubu Musa Lam, which you submitted to articles for creation, has been created. That's something Asar uploaded. Just a little meme I had. She said, this motherfucker knows I'm trying to lose weight, but he swings through every other day with a dick and ice cream. I can't stand his evil ass. Just some humor. Okay. Let me continue on. Hold your horses. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, so where is that? I'm gonna have to close this, and I don't want to make a mistake. This is the gist of what I wanted to say. I can kind of hold on. You know what? I'm gonna end it there. So, family, Oh, hold on. No what? No, I'm not gonna end it there. Hold on your horses. Hold your horses. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna end it there because I don't want to mess something up. But I just wanted to show you that the world of academia, outside of Harold Johnson and his homies and his students who are clueless that they're being deceived, no one agrees with this Negro Egyptian language or this new term Sinye Intwe that he's come up with. Nobody. They're all calling it trash. Why is that? We're going to find out because I have a list of 10 questions that people disagree with Sar on that I'm taking to UCLA linguistics department. And we're going to really get down to the bottom of it then. Okay? This Chief X, I'm out.